I think we can start day 2 of the workshop on Open Citations and Open Scholarly Metadata 2025. Thank you for being here again. I hope you had a joyful evening yesterday and maybe a bunch of chance to go around the city to visit some places. So it has been a great first day yesterday, so I would like again to please a round of applause to all the organizing team that have done a great job. So yesterday was entirely dedicated to the session for the Barcelona Declaration. Was mainly organized by Bianca, Ludo and Cameron, who are here, that I would like to thank personally because everything went very smooth in my opinion. So that was amazing, both in presence and online. That is a challenge. If you have tried to organize a conference in an hybrid mode, that is a great challenge. So I have to really thank all of you. I want to thank also our support, administrative support and organizational support, Fondazione Alma Mater and ADB, Eventi and Congressi, for the wonderful job they are doing for making this possible technically. And again, the support that we have received, community support from ROAR. Thank you again for helping us in organizing this wonderful event. Very briefly, and then I will pass the mic to the real, let's say, the important people of today's event. Just a few words about the organizing committee here. We are very happy. We have discussed a lot yesterday after the evening, just to wrap up to understand how went the first day. We were very happy, and that was possible thank you, to your participation, your active participation to all the discussion that we had yesterday, and I hope that we can repeat it today. So thank you a lot for that. I don't want to spend any more words, I have to say here. I will just introduce briefly the program in a few minutes, but I would like to invite here to have kind of institutional greetings for the second day of the conference, Professor Francesca Masini, who is Delegate for Open Science, Data and Research Evaluation here at the University of Bologna. So Francesca, please, the floor is yours.
Thank you so much. It is a real great pleasure to welcome you to the second day of WOOC 2025 here in Bologna. I think things have evolved a lot since the last workshop that we had here at the University of Bologna in October 2023, because of course, as Silvia was saying, in the meantime, the Barcelona Declaration on Open Research Information was launched last year in 2024, and the University of Bologna was among the early signatories of the declaration because we're really committed to this. The first day of the workshop yesterday was precisely dedicated to the Barcelona Declaration. So there was this Bologna Meeting on Open Research Information following the one held in Sorbonne last September. And I was told that it was really fruitful, full of fruitful discussions on the challenges ahead. And it also provided really a platform for signatories and supporters to collaboratively refine, let's say, the roadmap for open research information. And I believe there will be a short report on yesterday's meeting soon after my welcome address, which is one more reason to keep it very, very, very short. So today we will focus on this year topic, which is open access of research information, which really underscores our shared commitment to make scholarly data more transparent, more accessible, more reusable. The program is very rich very interesting, showcasing contributions that promise to offer wonderful insights into innovative practices to enhance interoperability and data coverage across disciplines. Unfortunately, I cannot stay here the whole time because I have other commitments, unfortunately, but I really want to wish you an inspiring and productive time together. I'm really confident that the discussions and also the collaborations emerging from today's workshop will contribute meaningfully to your to the shared vision that we have of openness in scholarly communication. So thank you once again for being here, and I leave you to the wonderful organizers. Thank you.
Thank you, Francesca, for your kind words. So here is kind of summary of today's program. As you can see, there will be a short report, shorter than what is written there, a short report about the activities of yesterday, and then we go on with an invited talk that I will introduce in a few minutes by Catherine Skinner. Then there will be 2 sessions for short talks where all the people, the researcher, the participants who have submitted something and have been selected for doing this kind of talk will be invited here to have the talk. Just before lunch, just to there is also a coffee break in the middle. It's not signed there, but we do have coffee, just to clarify it, in the morning, even if it's not in the program. So after, just before lunch, there is also a session of 30 minutes where we will invite all the people who have presented the poster that are already put out there to just briefly introduce their work in order to recognize them when we are there having lunch, and also discussing about open research information by talking with the people that are present at every poster. Here I would like to ask you a kind of kindness, okay? The person who are going to present the posters here, so they are doing the poster pitch, ideally, they would be the first one to eat something, okay, in order to be ready for the poster. So I will ask you to allow them to go to take lunch as first, okay, in the row, just to be sure that they have the chance to have a lunch, a proper one. And then there is a talk from Open Citations, other short talk sessions, another coffee break. Remember, we care about coffee as usual. And a last session of today's workshop. We will have another invited talk by Sarah Petty, and a final short talk session, then a closing of this workshop. Just to remind the invited speaker, they are Sarah Petty from Open Knowledge Foundation and Catherine Skinner from Invest in Open Infrastructure. Also, we wanted to have here also Ariana Becerril Garcia, who had an issue just a few days ago, and she could not come here in presence, but she promised us to record a video of her introduction, and we will share the video through our social channels in the next days after the workshop is finished. So we will follow us in social channels. We will put also information on the Discord channel that we have, so to allow you to be updated about that, and we will advertise it in those channels when the video will be published online. So I think, yes, this is the 2 minutes poster pitch and poster exhibition. Remember not to run away. I know that probably we will be, we would like to eat something at certain point, but please stay here from at the very beginning, from 12:30 to 1 p.m. for looking at the poster pitch presentations. And I think we can start. So we can start, and I would like to invite here Bianca Kramer for a quick wrap-up of yesterday's.
Yeah, thank you, Silvio, and welcome back, everyone, or welcome to people who who are joining us today. I will be very quick. I promise you've seen enough of me yesterday, but I would like to make the transition, the connection between what we did yesterday and what we will be doing today. So very briefly, just to center the point of open research information. Can I do that? Yeah. I can do that myself. Magic. Yeah. So Barcelona is all about the transition to open research information, to engage specifically universities, funders, governments, to be actively involved in the transition and to implement that transition in their own organization. So, as I said, just to repeat, and this is the only slide I will repeat in this way, what do we mean by research information? Because that's also what we will be talking about today. So with research information, we mean metadata, bibliographic metadata, also, for instance, funding information, information about use and impact, so information about research output, activities, and actors. And why is that important? Because that is the information that's used, for instance, in decision-making about strategic priorities, about resource allocation, about evaluation of researchers. And it's also used to assess the effect of policies, funder policies, for instance. And then it is also used by researchers to find information and by other societal stakeholders who want to know about which research is taking place, who want to find research results. So this is why we focus so much on research information. It's used in many ways that directly affect researchers and directly affect society. And that's why it's important for that information to be openly available, so those decisions can be transparent. And the decisions can be based on open and fair and equitable information, and not based on selective information that is only available in closed databases that you only have access to when you pay. And finally, when we talk about open science, and when we assess open science and try to evaluate open science, when we do that based on closed information, based in closed data sources like Scopus and Web of Science, that's a bit of an oxymoron. So we really think that open science requires open research information. So that brings us to the Barcelona Declaration. You've all seen this before, but with the Barcelona Declaration, we're really calling on universities, funders, governments, organizations performing and funding research and evaluating research to make openness the default for research information that they use and produce, to work together with infrastructures, services and systems that support open research information, to support those infrastructures because they cannot exist in a vacuum, and to work together to achieve that. And since the declaration was launched last year, we've now over 111 signatories, organizations committing to this. We have over 50 organizations providing data or services, infrastructures, who are formal supporters of the declaration. And we've got many more organizations who are interested in also collaborating this and contributing to this. So I think that sets us up really well to make the next steps. And that, I think, is also a link to today. So how do we make sure that that transition, that together with the signatories and supporters we all think is important, is really going to happen? So from the Barcelona Declaration, we think that that requires supporting change at both the technical level, the availability, the interoperability of research information, the operational level, how to implement that in organizations, decisions that are being made about which systems to use and how to integrate them in your institution's practices, and at the strategic level, to really make conscious choices at the level of the university about why this is important and what to do about it. So from the Barcelona Declaration, we try to support that by facilitating and supporting collective actions to the working groups. And we spent a lot of time yesterday talking about these working groups and sharing with you, taking you along with the working groups and sharing the actions, discussing the actions. And a couple of things I heard back yesterday was that people really liked also that action-oriented approach, trying to bridge from having a declaration to action. And it's messy, it's complicated, it requires a lot of talking amongst each other. And I think one additional good thing that also emerged from yesterday is that there are a lot of new people involved in this that are now engaged in this conversation. I think that really also opens up possibilities for further progress. So I won't repeat all that. You were there yesterday. We will also share the outcomes of those conversations about the working groups online. But I want to iterate 2 other points. First of all, that is really important to collaborate, the collaboration between institutions and services data providers. And I think that's what we'll see today as well. We'll hear today from both. We'll hear today from researchers within organizations. We'll also hear from the data providers about the steps they're taking, the progress they're making. So I think that really helps that collaboration. And also connecting with other initiatives and organizations. We talked about that at length yesterday. This is not an isolated discussion. This really ties in with a lot of other developments about research assessment and how to change research assessment, about how to support open infrastructures. And you will hear more about that also from Catherine Skinner in a minute. So it's important to really make good use of that and to align with these other initiatives. For that reason, I'm also really happy that we can connect the meeting yesterday to all the initiatives that will be presented and talked about today. So I think that is my connection between yesterday and today. I want to end with centering a couple of questions, again bringing it back to the importance for researchers, and through that the importance for research organizations. So what does it mean for researchers, the discussion around open research information? It has to do with the question, where is information about their research output and activities located? And as an extension of that, who can actually find that information? Who can get to know, who can discover the outputs of their research? And is that really around the world? Also, in terms of assessment and evaluation, what types of research output and impact are used in assessment and evaluation? Is that transparent? Is that clear? And then how open and transparent is that research assessment and that information? Can that actually be assessed? Do you know what you are being assessed on? And do you have any agency in that? And then finally, it also ties to the discussion about academic sovereignty, digital sovereignty, who owns and controls that research information. So I think these are questions that are relevant for researchers, that are relevant for research institutions, and that further highlight the importance for openness and transparency in this space. So I'm really looking forward today to hear from all of you, all the presenters today, about all the different initiatives, projects, and the progress on that, because I think that's super important. We need that progress, and we need to connect the dots and use that to support the transition to open research information. Thank you, and enjoy your day.